Hey there, so today we have another review, and this is a beer from FiftyFifty from Truckee, California, and this is Eclipse Honey Imperial Stout, Bourbon Barrel Aged for 6 months, but then this is the vanilla version, so this is 2015 vintage, and so it doesn't actually say on the label what it is. Pretty much they have a Barrel Aged Imperial Stout brewed with honey, but they have different barrel treatments. There's apple brandy, there's different kind of whiskeys, there's rye, and then this one is the ivory or white wax, which is vanilla. So 11.9% Bourbon Barrel Aged Stout brewed with vanilla. So let's dig in. This was actually supposed to be with the vanilla rye and the fundamental observation episode 1000, but it's too much beer, so I'm reviewing this by itself. Let's dig in. So the beer actually doesn't come out that dark out of the bottle. Comes out as actually like a pretty, like a medium to dark brown, kind of ruby brown kind of color, but it's black in the glass with a medium brown head. Let's get the aroma on this one. I'm getting a lot of fresh kind of oak character, a little bit of alcohol, some bourbon, but then there is a kind of vanilla frosting, kind of a familiar aroma. Think of something like cream soda, root beer. Mostly dominated by that, not too much roast going on. Cheers. Nice and silky on the palate, but not that big of a beer. 11.9 is really not that mouth coating of a beer, so it sort of can see it on the appearance, and so it's not that big of an Imperial Stout. There's a rich kind of brown sugar, kind of muscovado sugar, caramelly kind of sweetness up front. It drinks very desserty, and then along with the aroma, there's a lot of vanilla flavor on this one. Very desserty. We're going to stuff like, again, cream soda, vanilla ice cream, just like vanilla frosting. It has all of those kind of very sweet reminders of dessert. There's a little bit of coffee roast, maybe a touch of milk chocolate, but there really is not that much kind of the base stout showing through. Get the bourbon coming in. There is a sharp kind of tannic structure on the back end. You sort of get these like oak tannins that is sort of scraping at your tongue. It really helps dry out the beer a lot. But again, not your biggest beer. It has a medium plus mouthfeel. So yeah, pretty interesting stuff. I think it's a nice dessert. Vanilla Bourbon Barrel Aged Imperial Stout. For me though, it's a hard one for me. I'm not the biggest vanilla fan. That's sort of what I realized. I'm not the biggest dessert guy, and like having these flavors again, I'm sort of like, not the biggest fan of it. But if you like that stuff, then you're gonna like this one. One thing I will say is that this beer is accessible. It's pricey. It retails about like $33, but it is way easier to get than something like vanilla rye. So I highly recommend that you try to get this on your hands instead of trading for something like Goose Island's vanilla rye. This is a really nice product. For me though, again, not the biggest fan of vanilla, and also there really is not that much of a mouthfeel or the roast quality that I really like to back up the beer. For bells and whistles kind of beer, doesn't really have everything that I'm looking for. But it is a good beer. You get a little bit of honey sweetness. All that big, desserty vanilla flavor is really well integrated into the beer. This is a kind of like 4 to 8 ounce kind of beer. You really don't want that much of it. It is a little bit cloying, not because of the sweetness, but just because of the reminders of all those dessert flavors lingering on the palate. It does have a nice balance to it. Again, there is the sweetness, but then the tannic structure hits on the back end. There is some bourbon and some alcohol to dry out the beer, so it is well made, but just not really something I'm in the mood to have much of. So let's go with something like a 91. 91, still amazing beer. Highly recommend it. Let me know what you think about the Eclipse series if you've had this beer before. Until next time, cheers. Later.